Hey, hello friends. Welcome back. So, continuing with our second session. So, in today's session, I'm going to cover few other features of Confluence, and one of them to cover is create from template. Right. So, as you might have seen from my previous videos, these videos are focused towards Confluence, which is a workspace where knowledge and collaboration meet to achieve great things. It's a collaborative tool by Atlassian, and I'm using the free space, which is for this demo, which even you can access and try around these interesting features that we are discussing here. So let's get started. Okay, so how does this create from template help us? Right, so I will just give an example, which is from like project management perspective. We always want to standardize in what we do. So when I say that, if we are having 100 project managers and we want to set up a governance framework, then we need to standardize some of the templates that are used by the project managers so that it increases the efficiency, and this also helps the PMO to consolidate information quickly for at the program level, right? So that's the benefit of having things standardized. Like, I would say not complete benefit, but some of the benefits, right? Which helps, I would say, the program from the governance perspective to keep everything in place and following some of the standards. Okay, so that means how this Confluence tool is going to help us. We create a standardized template, right? We create a standardized template over here. Okay, let me switch to the normal mode. Okay, so we create a standardized template. We have a repository where we create all the templates, and then in different projects, like we discussed last time, like we have three project managers: Jasmine, Donald, and Kerry, and they are working on project ABC XYZ CDE, right? So they within each projects we have the project managers are supposed to track the risk. They're supposed to track the minutes of meeting, because the most of the time, the 80% of the time of project managers goes in communication, right? And that involves various meetings with the stakeholders, action items coming out of it, right? So etc etc etc, right? So what we do over here is we create standardized templates. That means a risk register template, I would say a template for minutes of meeting, a template for project charter, right? And what happens is we create a button that will say it's a feature as such from Confluence, where we add it to the respective page within this project. And what the project manager has to do from then onwards is they just need to click on the button. It automatically picks the template from this database that we have created, and it sets it up for the project managers to use it. And similarly, we can use the same template, link these buttons to the same templates that we have set up, so that we have some standardization in all the projects. Sounds interesting? Yes. Okay, let's go with the demo, how we can achieve this. So I'm already there in my Confluence space. Okay, so we have this project views. Within this project, I have say, okay, a risk register, I have minutes of meeting. So the intention is each project managers keep the artifacts in different pages. That means this is the main page for the project CDE, and then they have individual risk register page, and then they have minutes of meeting page. Okay, so what we're going to do is, first let's create a standard template. And how we do it is, we have this create button, we click on this, and then we have something called as add or customize template for the selected space. Just keep in mind, for the people who do not have access to the Confluence space, when I say access, that means admin access. For them, they won't be able to see this option. This option is seen by individuals who have the admin access for that particular Confluence space. So as this is this test space that was that's created by me, so I see this access. And if you don't have, maybe you can ask your administrator to provide you access for that particular Confluence piece. So let's go ahead. Click on this, add a customized template for the selected space. Okay, here we come. So I've already set up two of these templates, so probably I will not use this. We'll create a new one. And what I'm gonna do is okay, let's create a new template. Create new template, and I name this as test risk register. Great. And then I would just add a table maybe. Okay. And let's add project name, risk ID, and let's add a few more column rows over here. Risk name, risk description. I'm just entering whatever comes to my mind at the moment, which is good to capture. Okay, and this is risk stage, response, and maybe a comment section. Great. So we have everything over here, and what we can do is we can navigate. So the best part to what we can do is let's navigate to one of the project page. Let's go to Donald. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to add links. So come over here, project name. Okay, and maybe just be with me for now, and I will show you how this is handy later on. Okay, and next is carry. So what we have done, we have added links to all of these. So we have three projects in our program. I have added all the I would say, project links over here. Okay, and next what I do is I will just click on save for now. Done. Okay, so if you just notice, we have just created our first template, which is test risk register. So what we can do, we can just promote this, and the reason why we promote is I will show why we do it, because when we click on this create button, right, so you see these options, right, which comes on the top. So what it does when we click on promote is it just pushes those templates on the top so that we can use it while as soon as we create the create button, we see those templates right up at the top. Okay, and now similarly I have set up a minutes of meeting as well. Maybe I just don't, I'll just show you how it looks like, so that we don't repeat on the steps. So this is our minutes of meeting template. We have agenda, participant, discuss points, and action items. Okay, click on save. Great so far. Now let's move to our project pages. Right, so we come over here, we go to risk register. Okay, so what we are trying to achieve is whenever project manager comes over here and he says, okay, I want to add a risk. So what he or she can do is they can just click on the button and it adds a child page where they can capture a detailed risk about that particular project. So we edit this page, and there is an interesting macro for this. which is create from template. Okay, I click on this button, create from template. So we can just mention add risk, maybe the name of the template, and we can just select okay our template from this. Yes, we have this test risk. I've just selected my template, and I can just add a title, or maybe what you want is risk name followed with number. So maybe we are just adding a format. Okay, this is whenever new page is created, the page title will be risk name with this special character. And so what that means, the project manager needs to enter the name of risk with the number. Okay, or we can just put it other way around as well. Great. And we'll click on insert. So we added this button and we publish it. Great. And similarly, we do the same step for minutes of meeting. We click on this. Again, we repeat the same step. View macro. We go to create from template. Here we go. And it's okay. We say take minutes of meeting, and we select our template, and we can just add a name. Maybe the name can be provided as enter date name. Insert. Great. Click on publish. Great. So similarly, we're going to add I would say the minutes of meeting and risk register buttons on these spaces as well. So what happens is whenever the project managers, maybe project manager Donald, which is just taken a rough example over here, random, he comes and say, okay, I want to add a risk for ABC. Let me click on this. So at the back end, it automatically picks. Okay, so you notice we have this number. He says, okay, mine one risk. This is, and he enters as the name as test risk. Okay, so what we have done, as soon as we click on button, we have these three options which pops up, and we just add the name, number, and the name, and we remove the other projects from here. We don't need because this project, this is to do with my project, which is Donald project ABC. Add a risk ID, maybe one, a risk name, test risk. I say risk description. This is my first risk, and we add a stage. Maybe this is at a critical stage. I want this to be red, that is critical. And responses we are mitigating, and comments at port XYZ. Okay, and I just publish this. So you notice a child page should be created. Here we go. So we have just created a risk based curve from this button. So how does this help us? We have individual pages for the risk, and this Confluence have wonderful feature where people can comment on that particular risk, right? So because this is a collaborative space, and people can come over here and also add their comments, right? And similarly, for the minutes of meeting, we'll click on take moms, just take minutes of meeting. It automatically picks up the template, and we just enter our date for today, which is maybe 28th June, and maybe the title of the meeting, this is our test meeting, and we add some agenda. agenda, maybe anything. We can just add discussing Confluence participants, and the cool part is you can just by adding this at the rate, you can see the list of people who are part of this conference community. In those, you can add those names. So what happens is if their email is configured, they are automatically triggered with an email once we save it. Okay, so at Pavan Kumar Lohumi discuss point today. What do we say? Okay, create from template. And action items, we say okay, Pavan to present more cool features on Confluence, and we give a date, maybe on 29th, today. Okay, we say publish. So what we have just done, so we have just created a new minutes of meeting, and we have just created a new risk. So let's go back to our presentation, right? So what we have done so far, so we have different project pages, and we want to create some standardization. We want the project managers to use a standardized template created by the PMOs. So we have set up new, I would say, standardized templates, and based on which we have added buttons, I would say, at different disk page, minutes of meeting pages, which automatically picks up this template via the macro create from template, and based on which we were able to add new risk as well as new minutes of meeting. Okay, so that's all about this create from template macro. And probably before I just wrap up for today's session, maybe I'll just give you a brief on what we are gonna discuss in our next video. So next video, what I'm going to show you is, now we have seen we are creating pages, I would say different risk pages underneath our risk register, right? So how can a PMO or how can an individual consolidate this information at the project level or at the program level from various projects? So because we have some cool features in Confluence which can do that, and we are going to discuss about that in our next session. So till then, thank you so much for watching, and please do subscribe and comment if you feel these videos were really helpful. I will be very thankful. And if you feel we can improve on something, please do leave comments on it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.